My name is Lajuana Counts, and I am an Assistant United States Attorney for the Western District of Missouri.
I'm Michael Gunn, and I'm a lawyer.
I'm Sean O'Brien. I'm a professor at UMKC Law School.
I want to first start with my work at the U.S. Attorney's Office, where we have a chance to make sure that justice really is served, and that if a crime has been committed, that the person who has committed that crime has paid back to the community for the crime that they have committed. From there, really what I've had a chance to do in the U.S. Attorney's Office, I've worked with different administrations, and they've given me the opportunity to serve the legal community in other aspects, and such as being on the Missouri Supreme Court Disciplinary Committee and the hearing panel as a hearing panel officer for nearly 20 years. And of course, in that capacity, you have the opportunity to make sure that the community is protected and the integrity of the Missouri bar is intact. And additionally, I have been a part of many community organizations, Legal Aid of Western Missouri, which I believe I served there for probably 15 years, and as the president. Of course, it's a wonderful organization that ensures that different people from every aspect of life has a chance to get their day in court. One of the most fulfilling organizations that I've been a part of is Lawyers Encouraging Academic Performance, otherwise known as LEAP, and that was started by the various bar associations in the Western District of Missouri. The recipient of the funds from LEAP are the kids of Operation Breakthrough, and those kids are some of the underserved in the community. So giving them a chance to move forward in life, give them tools, reading, math, mentorships, things like that, and just giving Operation Breakthrough some funds so they can continue to provide services to these kids.
I don't know that people recognize how fortunate the lawyers in the state of Missouri are with regard to the State Bar Association that we have here. And one of the fortunate things in my life was to learn about, what did I know about the Missouri Bar? But to learn about it, to run to be on the Board of Governors of the Missouri Bar, and then to serve in the leadership role there. It was a great opportunity. I served under a wonderful executive director, and we did get a great deal of things accomplished while I was able to be part of that leadership. One of the great opportunities in my life came when I finished my service to the Missouri Bar, and I got a phone call from a lawyer, and he asked me if I would be interested in going on the board of Peter and Paul Community Services here in St. Louis, which is an organization that gives service and shelter to people who are homeless, especially people who are mentally ill or suffer from HIV/AIDS. And that has been a major part of my life since the time that I gave service to the bar.
Innocence, of course, is an issue that resonates with everybody. And the risk of executing or incarcerating the innocent is way too high. So the case I'm probably the most proud of is Schlup versus Delo in the U.S. Supreme Court, because it sets the national standard for litigating innocence claims in federal court. And maybe the next case is Amrine versus Roper in the Missouri Supreme Court, because it sets the state standard for litigating innocence claims. So you can't litigate an innocence claim in Missouri without citing to one of those cases. And so I'm proud of that. The other aspect of my work that I think is equally important, because it's not unrelated, is work on behalf of the mentally ill. And so the case I'm most proud of there is Stewart v. Martinez Villarreal in the United States Supreme Court, where we litigated the issue of his competence to be executed, all the way from the Justice of the Peace in Arizona to the U.S. Supreme Court and back down again, where we prevailed and showed he was not mentally fit for execution. And that case is a product of my first execution, 1992, Ricky Lee Grubbs, who dropped out of the 6th grade at the age of 16 after failing many elementary school grades. And he was sentenced to death by a jury that did not even know he was mentally retarded. His lawyers who represented him in subsequent appeals and post-conviction actions didn't even go see him, so they had no awareness that he was mentally retarded. And in the final stages of his appeals, we got into the case. I'll never forget it because we were litigating this case all through the night. I called Ricky on the phone and told him, and he didn't understand. He wanted to know, well, is there another appeal? What about my certiorari? He couldn't pronounce certiorari, and I said, that was it. And so he's asking questions, and you know, with a client of normal intellect, that would be enough to say, you know, we've lost the case. But I finally just had to tell him bluntly that we've lost your appeal and you're going to be executed. And as I was telling him that, they wheeled the gurney into the death chamber and they took him off the phone and whirled him in and killed him. That was my biggest disappointment as a lawyer. And my resolve was never again.
Look at our Pledge of Allegiance, you know, liberty and justice for all. That's what I try to live my life, is to give everyone the chance to have that liberty and justice for all. One of my favorite people in the world would be Pat Summitt, who was the coach of the Lady Volunteers, who recently passed. And one of the things that she says, one of her quotes, is that responsibility equals accountability equals ownership. And ownership is one of the most powerful weapons that anyone can have. That's a little paraphrase from her. But if everyone would just take ownership of their lives and helping others, that would make this entire world a better place.
My parents and the way that we were brought up, my brothers and sisters and I, that there was value in service and that we were all put here for an obligation, with the obligation of giving service to others, and that happiness, my parents taught me this, that happiness was truly giving back to someone else rather than having anything yourself. That's what drives me. I think on a daily basis about the opportunity that I've been given. What I've been given is some understanding of the law, some understanding of the procedure, an interest in the profession of the law, and maybe a little bit of talent for leadership. And what my obligation is to put those together to help society. And as I say, when I do that, I really get a great deal of satisfaction from it. So it's given me a happy life. My parents, I think, all they wanted from their children is that they would have a meaningful life. And I think that's what gives my life meaning.
What I tell my students is follow the path with heart. If you are passionate about what you do, you will be great at it, because the law gives us so many opportunities. But second, do it as a team. You asked me a minute ago, how could I keep doing this work? And it's because I've always surrounded myself with very capable people who work together with me. I'm not in charge of other lawyers. I work together with other lawyers. And as a team and as co-equals, we get it done.